Hi again, Sunny with Synergy, and today we're going to be going into marijuana, actually. So we recently worked on a building where it's an apartment complex, and sure enough, we're doing our walkthrough and everything, and there's a marijuana plant out in the front yard growing, right? Kind of hidden a couple other trees, so you can't really see it, but it is something that the owners or the buyers at that time at least noticed and had a couple questions about. So we kind of went into it, right? The first thing is, on a federal level, marijuana is still illegal. In California, medically, it's still legal, and recreationally now, it's still legal in most places. So that brings us to our first point. You have to look into state by state what their individual regulation is. Second of all, you have to look into county and city and what their individual regulations are. So for example, here in Bakersfield, we are not allowed to have any kind of business which is related to marijuana. So for example, the pot shops or the delivery services, things like that are not allowed in Bakersfield proper. Now that being said, you go over a city or two and it's open for at least medical marijuana use. So let's say if you have your medical card, then you can go to the shop and buy whatever it is you want. From there, we have to look at, okay, well, even if it is recreationally and medically acceptable, is it something that I have to accept in my building? So there's a couple different things there. First of all, you can have a no smoking campus as far as the apartment campus is concerned. So that, if they do smoke on campus, then yes, that is a violation of your lease agreement, and that would have to be in the lease agreement or the community rules. So the second thing is you can have a no marijuana policy, you can have a no drugs policy, and you can put those things in your lease as well. Now the problem becomes if they're using per current California or Bakersfield city law, then they will be able to get away with that, right? So for example, you're not allowed to smoke in public places, you're not allowed to smoke near schools, churches, things like that, anywhere where there could be families or kids, basically. So in that instance, let's say that your tenant, does smoke a lot of marijuana in his unit, and the smell gets over to the other units and they don't like that. Well, the few things you can do are make sure that in your lease you have a no smoking policy. Inside of that, you should also make sure that you have a no drugs policy, and those two things should allow you to at least mitigate that use from the tenant. So for example, we have a commercial building where basically we had tenants complain that they have kids in their business, and their other tenants in that complex were smoking marijuana, and their clients are smoking marijuana as well. It's very well known that there is a no smoking policy, and so because of that, we had to go ahead and send out a letter. Now, did that cause a little bit of an outrage? Yes, it did, but at the same time, doesn't really matter. The landlord says what they want. It's perfectly fine within the lease. And so we did, in fact, submit that letter. So there's a few different things you can do about marijuana. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. We also have the zoning available. So if you'd like to see kind of where you can put your shops or anything like that, or where the shops have to be around town, feel free again to give us a call. We have all that information. All right, until next time, thank you. Take care.